Good afternoon, everyone. We are following some breaking news in the Donald Trump hush money trial. A verdict has been reached. The jury has found the former president guilty on 34 felony counts here. Let's head out live right now to our political reporter, Matt Pritchard. He is live with us right now with... we're not going to Matt right now. We're going to hang out with our Sue O'Connell right here. Let's explain what this means. 34 felony counts right here. Guilty on all 34, right? We knew yesterday that the jury was engaged in this because they sought a refresher in all of this. And they got to this verdict relatively quickly here. What does that tell you about the jury and their decision to find the former president guilty on all 34 felony counts?
Well, you know, Colton, I think we talked about this yesterday. If you take the fact that this is an historic moment, right? This was a historic trial with a former president charged for these federal crimes and a candidate for president charged, and you had a porn star, and you had the publisher of the National Enquirer gossip rag. If you took those people out of this case, right, and just said maybe it's a state lawmaker, maybe it's a lower level official, it's a fairly straightforward document fraud case. So if you follow along, I know these are a lot of counts, 34 counts, but I think they're basically based on 11 transactions. So if he wrote the check for once, it's counted in here several times because he wrote the check a number of times. So it wasn't so hard in some ways for the jury to look at this and decide if he's guilty of a little bit of this, he's probably guilty of all of this, right? And then there's this underlying issue of the state law that has to do with the election interference, which is the underpinning of this case. It's not just a business fraud issue, it's an issue of whether or not they use this business fraud to meddle in the election.
So I want to get to really quickly, for those who haven't been following this as closely as you have, Sue, our political reporter, Matt Pritchard, who we're going to get to in just a moment. But I want to get to sort of what the prosecution was trying to prove in this, right? That basically trying to prove that the former president sort of hoodwinked the American voter in this maneuver to cover up a story ahead of the 2016 election.
Yeah, let's go back in time and try and remember this. So it's 2016, right? And the Access Hollywood tape had come out, right? And we had that quote-unquote locker room talk. The Trump campaign, by all reports, was very, very nervous about how that would impact the election. And then on the heels of this, you have the Stormy Daniels issue regarding whether or not she was going to sell her story about having an affair, having sexual relations with the candidate at the time, Donald Trump. So all hands on deck here on this campaign to try and have any further damage that might hurt Trump's ability to win the election, get that squashed. And that's the realm that is in here. So it's hard to believe that there was actually a time where people were concerned that Donald Trump might say something that might impact his reelection, but that's where they were.
Well, and the defense, just so we're showing both sides here, Donald Trump's defense was basically saying that he sort of had no clue about those payments and that it was all just sort of business as usual for the Trump organization.